tasmān nābhāvo nābhāvo na lakṣyaṃ nāpi lakṣaṇam ākāśa-samā dhātavaḥ pañca pare.
Tasmān nābhāvo na lakṣyaṃ nāpi lakṣaṇam ākāśa-samā dhātavaḥ pañca pare. MMK chapter 5 verse 7. On these grounds, space is neither thing nor absence. It is neither the object to be defined nor the defining. Whatever 5 elements there are remaining are the same as space. Or, in a possible hidden meaning, thanks to him, space is neither thing nor absence. It is neither the target nor the act of aiming. Whatever 5 elements there are remaining are the same as space. So today I'm going to go through the final 2 verses of chapter 5. This one, verse 7 being the penultimate verse. And as I was waiting to start, my neighbour's oil delivery truck was rumbling in her front garden for a while. So I just lay down impatiently, and over the last day, a lot of things I wanted to say in relation to these 2 verses have been popping into my consciousness. So that gives me a sense of it's almost like an anxiety. I've got stuff I want to get off my chest. I'm impatient to say what I want to say, and so it's not. I'm aware in that situation that's end gaining, that clinging to results, that sort of urge to achieve something, which in Alexander work is contrasted with the wish to allow, the intention to allow. I wish to allow my head to go forward and up. It's not something I can pushily achieve as a result for the head to go forward and up. FM said, you have to talk to it nicely. See? Mind you, having said that, a few verses ago I said, like, head fucking head forward and up. And actually, there can be merit. For me, there is merit in saying it to myself like that, because being of a contrarian nature, if I tell myself very aggressively, head, come on, let the fucking head go forward and up, then my response to it is to see the humour in it somehow. And no, if you boss me around on that, I'm not gonna do what you tell me. So it's almost putting myself in the position of a bossy teacher, who would find it very easy to say no to. Fuck you. No, I'm not going to do what you tell me blindly. And that is actually the response that Alexander wanted his pupils to have. He used to say, find it much easier to teach somebody who was very cynical and sceptical than somebody who was a sort of true believer from lesson 1 and was very gullibly. Patrick McDonald used to say that when you get students who say, yes, I see, they invariably haven't understood anything. And that's, again, we're going to come to that in verse 8, in relation to the meaning of drashtavyam, the to be seen, and contrasted with pashyati, which means one sees or one looks into. So more and more recently I'm thinking about the difference between those 2 things, following in from the exploration of darshanam in chapter 3. Darshanam, does it mean to see or does it mean to look? Well, you could take a view on either one being right, and then the answer, if you want to have an argument about is darshanam mean to look or to see, then there are two views on it, and the answer is always, as expressed in the final verse of MMK, sarvadrishti prahanaya, in the direction of abandoning all views. So again, it's exactly the same problem. I reflect on this sort of end-gaining urge, and me telling Marjorie Barlow, I'm a terrible end-gainer, because I am. And Marjorie's saying, well, no, wait, you decide. You either go directly for the end, or you make a decision to say no to going directly for the end, and instead you rely on the means whereby. Let the neck be free, to let the head go forward and up, to let the back lengthen and widen, sending the knees forwards and away. As Alexander said, we only want to gain our end in the process of directing the head forward and up, etc. Okay, so that's one view. That's a sort of orthodox Alexander view, if you like. That's the view which is rooted in emptiness. But then at the end of one lesson, Marjorie goes and says, "You're an inveterate worrier, aren't you?" Well, how can you say I'm an inveterate worrier? That goes against the teaching of emptiness. Well, she can say because it's true. And then she added, "I know because I am too." So that's really the viewpoint of Zen realism. That's everything is as it is. That person is like that. A stone lantern in the garden is a stone lantern in the garden. So that's another view. So again, even in regard to that, you've got two opposing views. And what does Nagarjuna say following the Buddha? Sarvadrishti prahanaya ya sadaramam adeshayat anukam pamupadaya tam namisyami gautamam. In the direction of abandoning all views, he taught the true Dharma, putting compassion into practice, or ironically you could say, attaching to compassion. Tam namasyami gautamam. I bow to him, Gautama. So in that spirit, how we translate tasmān, there's two views on that, as reflected in my two translations. On these grounds, tasmān means on these grounds. So tasmāt is ablative of tat. Tat means that. So tasmāt originally means from that. So therefore, on these grounds, on those grounds. But in the hidden meaning that occurred to me, sort of looking more deeply into what was said in the previous verse, tasmāt can mean because of him, from him, because of him, thanks to him. And in that meaning, then so those two possibilities rely really on the two meanings of avaiti in verse 6. So bhāva bhāvav avaiti kaha. So who knows or understands thing and absence? So the first meaning that occurred to me was this is an ironic question, because thing and absence, they're not empty conceptions. So you can't actually know a thing or its absence. So that's my first take on it. That's the first view, if you like, the first view on what those words. Avaiti means know. So who knows thing and absence? Nobody knows thing and absence, because there ain't no such thing as thing and absence in it where emptiness prevails. So that I thought I understood it like that. But in the process of commenting on it yesterday, it just kind of occurred to me, well, of course it could mean, the answer could be, the question could be, who understands, who really understands the problem of thing and absence? And the answer to that is tam namasyami Gautamam. I bow to him, Gautama. And in that latter meaning, which I think is the hidden meaning, then tasmān could mean thanks to him, nābhāvo, ākāśam. Thanks to him, space is neither thing nor absence. So, see, part of when I start thinking of what does it mean, thanks to him. So, what did he teach? Ya pratitya samutpadam prapanchopashamam shivam. He taught the happiness, which is completely springing up by going back, which is the ending of prapancha, spinning things into self-existence. So the two views are, it exists, it doesn't exist. Those are the two views. And thanks to him, we can be free of attaching to those two views, thanks to him. So I mentioned it yesterday, but when I was at university, my big koan, really it was a koan, was goals versus systems, which approach is true? And not thanks to Nishijima Sensei. Nishijima Sensei couldn't answer that question. Thanks to him, I understood the question was a false question, because there's no goals without systems, and there's no systems without goals, just as there's no subject without verb, and there's no verb without subject. It's the same problem. Emptiness solves the problem. So that problem is solved thanks to him. I didn't work it out by myself, and Nishijima Sensei certainly didn't understand the problem, so he couldn't help me with it. It's thanks to Nagarjuna and thanks to the Buddha that I can be free of the striving to solve that problem. The answer to it is simply emptiness. So, thanks to him, space is neither thing nor absence. Tasmān, nābhāvo, ākāśam. So, thanks to him, tasmān, not, bhāva, existence, existing thing, nābhāva, so nābhāva, not non-existence, not absence of a thing, not absence. And then ākāśam is at the beginning of the third pada. ākāśam, nominative singular neuter, space. Tasmān, nābhāvo, lakṣyaṃ, nāpi lakṣaṇam, ākāśam. So lakṣyaṃ, it's neither the target, nāpi lakṣaṇam, na plus api, also not, nor else, neither. Lakṣaṇam, the act of aiming, following the hidden meaning that we looked at yesterday. So tasmān, nābhāvo, lakṣyaṃ, nāpi lakṣaṇam, ākāśam. Thanks to him, space is neither thing nor absence. It is neither the target nor the act of aiming. So thanks to him, we can have true understanding, I think, of Zazen as space exploration. That's what Zazen is. It's not seeing something, it's exploring space. It's space exploring, space exploration. So thanks to him, space is neither thing nor absence. So if Zazen is space exploration, the happening, which is space exploration, space is not a thing, it's not an object that we're exploring, and it's not, as it's sometimes conceived, the absence of things. So it's not like a stage on which we act. It's neither of those things. So then what is it? Well, there isn't an answer what space is, except the answer is abandoning all views. And abandoning all views is exploring space. It's not seeing space. It's looking into space. You could say it's acting in space, but then if you understand lakṣyaṃ as the act of aiming, it's not the act. It's not an action. It's neither the target nor the act of aiming. Na lakṣyaṃ, nāpi, lakṣaṇam. So if we follow this ostensible meaning, it is neither the object to be defined nor the defining. But what it really means, I think, if we study, if we really explore, that doesn't mean by reading a book or listening to a video. It means sitting on the same zafu as Nagarjuna, dropping off the whole, well, first of all, one should say, being aware of the whole body, sabakaya patisamvedi, and then dropping off body and mind, pasambayam kaya sankaram, allowing the samskara of the body to cease, losing oneself in the practice. Tasmān nābhāvo, nābhāvo, lakṣyaṃ, nāpi lakṣaṇam, ākāśam, ākāśa-samā. So ākāśa-samā is nominative plural masculine, but the visarga, the H with a dot on the end, is omitted before da. So ākāśa-samā, the same as space. Then in the fourth pada, dhātavaḥ, elements, nominative plural, nominative masculine plural, dhātavaḥ. So that's plural of dhātu, which means element. Dhātavaḥ, dhātavaḥ, elements. Pañca, 5. So dhātavaḥ, pañca, 5 elements. Then ye is whichever. Now I think this is important. If we follow the text, Ye's text, Xiao Yong Ye, that is, it's Ye, pare. So that little apostrophe is all important because it means it's Ye apare. The A is omitted. Ye apare. With Sander, Ye apare is Ye pare. So para means other, but apara, well, it also means other, but it has a sense of following behind. It has a connotation of inferiority, as I understand it. So, looking into those words, why he said ye instead of te, because he could have said dhātavaḥ, pañca, te, pare. So, that would just simply mean the other 5 elements are the same as space. ākāśa-samā, dhātavaḥ, pañca, te, pare. So exactly the same meter. That would be the other 5 elements are the same as space. Would have been easier to translate that like that. But he said ye, and that sort of means whichever, whatever. So dhātavaḥ, pañca, ye, whatever 5 elements there are, apare. So I translated remaining. Whatever 5 elements there are remaining. And that has a sense of, right, space is there, and then you've got the other 5 elements, whatever the ones that are remaining. So again, for me, it's related with the fact that what Nagarjuna is really interested in is true space exploration. And that's the primary thing. So the other 5 elements, I mean, it even includes water. So in some sense, it's difficult to think that water is not the primary thing, or earth as well. So bhu is earth, jala, water, tejas, fire, anila, air, fairly fundamental for someone who's breathing, and vijnana, consciousness. So they're all important, but I think what he's suggesting is space exploration is primary. And I can't help thinking it has something to do with the primacy of the vestibular system. So before we have consciousness, there's movement and balance and that's mediated at the brainstem level by the vestibular nuclei of the vestibular system, which includes the inner ears, hence vestibules of the inner ear, the vestibular system, as we discussed in relation to chapter 3. Okay, it's only a convenient fiction. It doesn't exist non-emptily as a thing unto itself, but nevertheless, it's fundamental in physicality. Physicality is emptiness. It's not there's no such separately existing thing as physicality, but physicality is very real. What's real is what's empty, and physicality is empty, and physicality in space is primary, and that has to do with the vestibular system. So even more fundamental than consciousness, and even more fundamental than air, than breathing. You know, remember, sabakaya pati samvedi asasi sami tisikati. One trains oneself with the consciousness, with the awareness, with the thought, with the whole body informed with thought, being aware of the whole body. I will breathe in. So the breathing is secondary. What's primary is the vestibular related stuff, the physicality related stuff, the space related stuff. The physicality of space exploration is primary for somebody who practices sitting Zen. Tasmān nābhāvo lakṣyaṃ nāpi lakṣaṇam ākāśa-samā dhātavaḥ pañca pare. Thanks to him, space is neither thing nor absence. It is neither the target nor the act of aiming. Whatever 5 elements there are remaining are the same as space.
tasmān nābhāvo na lakṣyaṃ nāpi lakṣaṇam ākāśa-samā dhātavaḥ pañca pare.